At the boarding gate Narita, waiting to board SQ12 onward to Los Angeles. Earlier had just arrived from Singapore. Yes, second leg of SQ12, Narita LAX, boarding the business class cabin and heading back to my exact same seat as per the same flight. Seated comfortably now to a second last row of the business class cabin, ready for the flight. Second leg SQ12, let's go! The menu for the evening, Japanese food for me. This will be on a Boeing 777-300.
Bound for Los Angeles. Flight time today to LA is about 8 hours and 35 minutes. With me the cockpit, we have Captain Cook and
Time to get some pre-takeoff drinks. Guess which drink I chose? Guess 1, 2, 3. Answer. Champagne for me! Yay! Some bubbly! The Burgundy Kabaya in-flight supervisor and hot towels. Yay! Very refreshing indeed. Safety video being played as plane was taxiing to runway for takeoff. Local time 6:58 PM and we were about to take off. Engines powering up. Notice the water vapor trail just as we lifted off. The airflow, amazing physics. Wow, let's go. The miracle of flight. I was in Narita for about an hour and a half in the transit area, and it looks like we were gonna be early into LAX. I always order the Singapore sling to enjoy with my satay on SQ flights. It's almost become like a ritual. And here comes the canopies, the satay, 3 beautiful sticks. Yummy. I did wonder whether the satay was from the Singapore kitchen or the Japanese kitchen, but probably Japan. Anyway, it was delicious. Tasted exactly the same as the one I had on my earlier flight. Yummy. And for my dinner, I opted to have the Japanese meal, which I had booked in advance from the in-flight menu. Do that if you want to ensure you get a meal. Chopsticks laid out and Japanese meal only available on flights to and from Japan. The presentation was beautiful. The tray looked exactly the same as the previous flight, but the components of the tray were a bit different. I shall put the whole list into the description, and I poured the soba sauce. This is fun. This is going to be good. Lovely Japanese meal, Hanakoireki. Yeah. So intricate looking. Maybe can win the prize for the prettiest airline food in the sky. Any suggestions whether this would win the prize? I think it would. And the main course was served in the similar looking bento box, but of course the ingredients were a little bit different too. Earlier on I had fish. This time around I had to check on the menu again, and it turned out that it was Wagyu beef. I think it was. Yes, with green tea and miso soup. Brilliant. There's so much to eat, isn't it? It's so pretty. Loved it. And also had sake. Yes, Koshu style braised Wagyu beef. Braised beef. So for a delightful Japanese meal experience, fly to or from Japan on SQ business class and make sure you get the Japanese selection including sake. Miyakanbai Jumayingo sake. I was really stuffed, but I still had to try a bit of the dessert and fruit before I went to sleep. That's my seat converted to a bed and wonderful sleep. Second meal served shortly before landing. They call this a light meal before landing, and I again chose the Japanese food. It came in the bento box without an appetizer this time round. Japanese food a third time on this flight, SQ12, and I still enjoyed it very much. I was too full when I skipped dessert.
to touch down in Los Angeles at about 11:30 in the morning local time. watches, the time in Los Angeles is 10:54 in the morning. And note that there is a 16-hour time difference between Tokyo and LA, and a 15-hour time difference between Singapore and LA. Weather in LA is reported to be slightly cloudy with a temperature of 18 degrees Celsius. I do hope you've enjoyed your flight, and on behalf of all my crew, I would like to thank you once again for choosing Singapore Airlines.
And yes, the flight of 8.5 hours was about to be over as we approached Los Angeles, California. My seat back into the seat mode. Time to prepare for landing and onward journey to Las Vegas. Yes, wonderful flight.
Landing stations.
Captain has announced cabin crew to landing stations, and I noticed the plane making a sharp right turn. Looks like we have to turn around. Flying right over looks like a very densely populated area. Must be part of Los Angeles, as we are lining up to land at LAX. We level off a bit, but again we make another right turn, so looks like we are positioning ourselves for the final approach into Los Angeles Airport. Yes, planning your right turns and beautiful views for me because I'm on the right side of the aircraft. Fascinating, Los Angeles. Could see some skyscrapers in the distance. I assume that will be the center of Los Angeles. Los Angeles, California. Final approach, we were getting lower now. As we are about to land, let me recap. This is SQ12 from Singapore to Narita, and this video shows you Narita to LAX. Do check out the Singapore to Narita leg. Quite like this flight. A short layover at Narita, 1.5 hours thereabouts, and I had Japanese food all the way. That's the new learning point for me, Japanese food. Alright. Touchdown was very smooth, and I knew the plane had a taxi to the international terminal because I knew I would have a connection to the United terminal at Terminal 7. So it's interesting to see the other planes on the ground, including this Korean Airlines Airbus A380. Fascinating stuff.
Because we were so early, our bay is still occupied by an aircraft, and we've been told by the air traffic control to expect this 30 minutes before we are allowed into our bay. As such, we shall be holding.
Captain originally said we will hold for 30 minutes. Fortunately, it wasn't that long, maybe about 15, and we got to our gate, and it was a smooth disembarkation. Bye-bye, SQ12. Heading to customs and border. Right, walkway, walk. And here we go. Welcome to USA. And we arrive in the luggage carousel area. Which one? Gotta look. That wraps up our review SQ12. Bye-bye.